overweight in my 20s. I grew up in my teens. I was a gymnast. I had this nice figure, nice body, got all the attention from the guys and whatnot. I hit 20 and I started to really feast down on like KFC and hamburgers and whatnot. And sooner or later I had grown to be about 180 pounds. And, I stopped getting the attention and I looked down and I realized like, holy crap, what did I just let happen to myself? What happened? So at first, when I first started working out, it was purely for aesthetic reasons. I just wanted to, lose the excess weight. I wanted to, my chins were out here like this. I wanted to get rid of those extra chins and basically also, feel better about who I was. And that was the start of, fitness and healthy eating for me. But the real moment of transformation for me, that real aha moment, as we talk about, is when this one particular day I went to go and visit my grandmother in the hospital. And she had a heart attack and a stroke, and she was paralyzed from the left side down. Yeah. So she was in Ottawa. I'm in Montreal. Once a month, I would make it my business to drive out there and visit with her and just really try to offer some of my time to her. She was my best friend growing up. We were two peas in a pod. She meant everything to me. And as I'm seeing her, I'm realizing that she's in this jail cell, right? She's lying in this bed. She's sharing the room with 2 or 3 other people. The walls are gray, dingy, and, the flickering halogen lights on the top of the ceiling, and the windows are small and not all that clean. And I would remember all of these memories that we would have together in her kitchen and playing cards and dressing up and, having all this beautiful time together. And this one particular day I went to go and see her, and this guy next to her was a bit of a loon, okay? Like he was just wailing, like this on and on and on and on and on until finally I was like, man, like what is with this guy? And it was in this moment, right now, right in this moment, she looked at me, her eyes swelled up with tears, but in her pupils, there was fear, there was frustration, there was depression, there was sadness, there was so much that her eyes were telling me in this particular moment. I'm almost about to tear. She said, Sherry, he never stops. He never stops. He's like that all day long. And these flashes, these images of things of her lying in this bed at 3:00 in the morning. She's alone. She doesn't have her husband. My mom, obviously can't be at the hospital 24/7. She's not around her things in her apartment. And she's been living in this jail cell for 6 years. Mm-hmm. And I'm leaving the hospital. And at that time I was a smoker and that I was overweight. And I left that hospital just dumbfounded. I was going through a bit of a daze, and I said, my health is non-negotiable. I cannot negotiate with my health. Not if I want that to be me. I do not want that to be me. It's bad enough that it's her. And from that moment on, I had made this promise to myself, this commitment to myself that my health was non-negotiable. And I drove home from Montreal. I took my pack of cigarettes and I threw them out the window. And to this day, I can still see them, like fluttering and flying all over the highway from the wind. And I see them explode. I never had a cigarette since. I just quit cold turkey. And I said, I guess this is 23. I was 23, 24 at this time. And I never looked back. I've been fighting day and night in my mind. We battle every day. We always have a struggle with the bad foods and the good foods and the guilt and the self-sabotage and the ups and the downs. No one's saying, we're working on perfection here. It's a battle every day. You're stressed. You're lacking sleep. You got to figure out what to eat. You're on a date. There's a glass of wine. You want to have one. There's dessert. There's creme brulee. There's all these things that you want to have, right? And you try to find that balance between saying, listen, my health is super important to me, but I also have one life to live. I'm on this planet Earth for so long. Am I never going to have creme brulee again for the rest of my life? Where is that?
now.